Hello everyone, we've got Roger. He's going to be walking us through the Ironworks shop, showing us everything that's going on currently right now. And also I want to make a little quick note that if there's anything that you guys specifically want to see within these videos, drop a comment, let us know. We're always looking for new ideas to present to you guys. But Roger, today, let's start telling everyone what's going on with the crew cab.
Well, we started to ship some of the parts off to the body shop. To start getting everything ready to get painted. Plus, these trucks take up a lot of real estate in a shop, so some guys don't want to have the whole truck at once. And so we're just trying to finish some of the details in the interior. With this being a little bit later model truck, there's not as the availability of parts is a little bit different than an earlier model C10, and so we're gonna make some things for the interior. Trying to get a few things final fitted of the wiper motor assembly, the Tesla booster, just things like that. And so we've been just trying to get everything kind of set in the car or truck, I guess, and getting that stuff to where we're going to design a few things just to make it kind of what we're known for. We're going to make a new panel for this that just says something fancy in it and has some wood grain. We're going to make a new dash for this that will encompass a nicer stereo setup. We'll probably machine that out of just 3 flat pieces and make them bolt together. We mounted an amp under here. We're going to put 4 speakers in the truck. Just trying to give it a little bit more sound, trying to make it a little bit more utilitarian since it's a truck. And, you know, with the rear seat that folds up and down, that, you know, obviously all the stereo equipment that's on there, but it flips up and gives you room to put your dogs in the back and do those things. So we've been just getting things of speaker locations because we'd like to make just some little trim piece that goes on there that makes it more than just the speaker and a door that is just normal.
And real quick, since people are going to probably ask if they haven't seen any of the previous videos, what seats are those?
Like 2020 Chevrolet work truck seats. They're just manual seats. They're not power seats. We made the brackets to make them fold up and down. So you can see that it folds up. The other one folds up and does the same. We're deleting the headrests. Just trying to get some of that just to make it where it doesn't look so new truck. Probably change the shape of the seats a little bit on the top.
And for the people that are worried, the possibility of like, oh, these don't really look good. I guess the style is just a little too new and doesn't fit the truck. These are going to get recovered and make them look a little bit more period correct.
Well, and just like we do in the Chevelles, those are basically a takeout seat that we made new seat covers for that change the whole look of the seat. And we don't reshape the foam. We don't do any of that stuff. And so we'll kind of do the same thing here of just giving it a more vintage vibe, which we're not trying to get super old school with it. I mean, we're trying to run just some billet wheels and kind of give it that 87 look as if it was just a big truck in 87. Yeah. So we're going to make the straight trim that's just one piece that goes down the side, not the trim that goes here like we did on the Blazer. Just doing some things that'll make it just kind of an 80s truck.
Are we able to open the hood?
There's no springs, but I can hold it up for you for a little while. So we're finishing. We're going to mount the Tesla booster in here, getting the wiper motor stuff set up now that the fenders are off. Just getting a lot of stuff just finalized of plumbing and wiring and things like that so we don't have to do it later.
Taking care of all the little firewall issues, like little holes and...
Any holes that we're not keeping, we'll just get rid of. Not trying to make this thing a show truck, just trying to make it where we're
clean.
The only holes that are left are what we're using, and fill up anything that's left and close it out so that it's not...
And I believe you guys did the same thing on the front.
Yeah, we cleaned up this core support a lot of just anything that you can see, just trying to smooth that part up and to where it turns into a nicer piece. Just presents itself a little bit better. So we're going to make a steering wheel for it that's just your standard 2-spoke. So anybody that's interested, we might sell this ostrich skin steering wheel that's in here for you. It's really fancy. We're saving that for a really fancy car.
Yeah,
these are
nice.
These are Intech Auto mirrors. They made the big ones for us. So you would be able to adjust them this way and then lock them down, and then it's got all the movement in here to move them all around and put your mirror glass inside there. I got these from him so we could get them chromed, just so it'd be a little bit more durable finish. Other than that, just trying to finish up the fitment of all the, you know, when you do a crew cab, everything's twice as much. 4 door seals and 4 door handles and
just
4 of everything.
Are those going to be on the website at some point?
I don't know. You'd have to talk to Troy from Intech and see him or Jameson and see.
Or our website?
They could be. I'm not even sure if he's made. They just did a limited run where a couple. I know the Roadster shop bought a few sets. I bought a set. There's a few different people who bought some sets. They're not cheap. They're $2,500 or something. But there's a lot of stuff here.
But they're billet aluminum.
Billet aluminum.
Yeah, they're machined.
They have a real fancy light here on the bottom that shines down on the ground. They're fancy. So everything in them is meant to be nice.
Okay, well,
so,
we got the bed off, and you can
as
see.
you see back here, we've got all the exhaust in the truck. Got all that stuff routed. Fuel lines are done. You can see the hard line up here running. We're just going to put a little clamp on it. You can see the muffler brackets that we got. Bed mounts, just everything else on the powder coated frame that we got.
Roadster shop chassis.
Roadster shop RS4 chassis. So this thing's really bitching. Other than that, just standard stuff.
Okay.
So,
And when do you think the whole truck's going to go to paint?
here in a couple weeks.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and wire it completely and get all that stuff done just to kind of fill in some gaps and some work in the shop.
So let's check out the K5, see where that's at.
So we took the top off to fix the poorly constructed, modified seams that cracked out that somebody just stuffed with Bondo. And so we've panel bonded that and filled all those parts in. The truck is now running and driving. It's been tuned. The seats are at upholstery. Interior shop up north in Sanger. And so when we get those back, we can put some more test miles on it, but it runs good. Just needs to be driven to work out any other further bugs and parts. Customer's got new tires at his house, he said.
Same wheels though.
Same wheels. He just wants to keep it looking like this.
But it's going to go with a new set of tires.
New set of
Same wheels.
tires.
That's good. That's a good looking wheel.
So got all this set up. Everything's cleaned up. Badges in here for Steven Anderson. His name's apparently a little too long for my tag, I guess. So, but everything's all painted similar colors. Just Tesla boosters working good. Kind of been playing with the spring rates you can do with that to set your pedal tension. But everything else looks nice. So continue putting some miles on it, and we use these little lines just to keep everything in alignment as you put it back together. And so we'll make sure everything stays as we drive it. But everything else looking good.
And you got Intech Auto.
Intech Auto on his cover panel there turned out real nice. That's actually powder coated the same color as the painted firewall. Believe it or not, we didn't have to body work and paint that.
So the truck, just for anyone that's been following along, or if you just jumping on and this is the first shop walk around, this truck was painted like this already when it came in, but the firewall got cleaned up, smoothed out, painted, Intech Auto billet cover for the AC, and
we filled in a few holes in the firewall. We pulled the body off the chassis, powder coated the chassis, redid all the plumbing, exhaust, just made it a lot nicer truck. But it's really
stock chassis, all rebuilt, powder coated,
crossover steering, off-road design, front sway bar to clear that, and everything else is pretty much
still
the same.
The old truck feel and drive, but new engine, tranny, and brakes.
Yeah, brakes and brake booster, which is going to be the biggest thing. It just makes the pedals effortless because it's just an electric assist. And so we've kind of changed all that stuff, and just with the 10-speed automatic, it's just going to shift like all the other cars with 10 speeds. Like they're wonderful.
Yeah,
so
really nice. And this one's got the fancy, really, really nice billet moldings on it.
Yeah, we put all the billet moldings on there because the other ones suck. They're not the proper length, and they have those. I still can't believe GM put all those hokey sheet metal screws. My Ford customers that we have, they make fun of the sheet metal trim on that where it has a screw in the middle. I can't believe they did that. So got all that stuff in. Turned out real clean.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and so the top's going to get put back on.
Top will get put back on once you get that painted and address those parts.
And then once the seats are back, when do we think we're going to be out driving this thing and getting some rollers of it?
They're supposed to be finishing the seats this week. And so if we get the seats back, I'd like to at least just get the front seats back to start putting miles on it. We like to send them home with 300 to 500 miles. Kind of just depends on how it's acted in the 300 to 500 miles. If it's been flawless, we'll tend to send it home. And since this guy's local, it's not a big deal. Sometimes we send them home with a lot more miles, or we use them for promotional purposes. And, you know, Rob's that just went back to New York, it had 1,300 miles on it and had been to Huntington Beach a few times, and it had been around.
But you wanted to make sure that that car had some miles on it because it was going all the way to the other side of the United States.
And it was a cammed LT4 with a big blower, and it's going across the country.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure it's as, you know, we always try to make sure they're as right as they can be.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're just a little more finicky than other cars.
Just real quick, the dent side back there, I know we haven't really shown that for the last couple.
We just haven't had any chance to work on it.
Yeah. So
It's been buried and trying to get everything else done, and got a lot of big fabrication stuff going on, and just kind of been
So for
piddling
the
on some
fans
of
that
these.
are really big into that dent side, because I know a lot of people were excited about it, it is coming back into into the queue.
I need to find a long body shop to take over these long trucks, because they fill up a shop quick.
Yeah.
So
And then behind me
behind
is
you, Roger Holder's Chevelle. We've got 10 or 12, 15 miles on it. It's an animal. We've dealt with some tuning issues of the pulse width fuel pump modulation wasn't enough to handle the changeover from idle to rolling into the boost.
Yeah.
It needed the fuel demand, so we had to put a secondary fuel regulator system on it to have one set there and then modulate it from that on with the electronic fuel pumps. Looks like we're going to have to, California Gas is giving us a little trouble. So we're going to break it in on 100 or 110 octane and get that dialed in, and then start breaking it back to where you could actually run it on 91 octane.
Okay. Well, if anyone's interested in this car, we've shown it now a bunch of times on the shop walk around, but we're actually going to shoot a dedicated video on this one today. So shortly after this video going up, you'll be seeing that dedicated video that goes a little bit more detail, a lot more detail of what's going on with the car and where it's sitting, and probably
Yeah,
get
just
some
all the
running
details
shots.
under the hood. We got the vents we made that allow the air to come out, of the hot air to come out of the top. They're not closed off like the stock ones. We can walk you through all those kinds of details.
A lot of cool stuff done to this car.
Yes.
And Mercedes on idle.
No, we've just been working on some CAD design stuff, and we'll be getting back to hands-on labor here shortly. So just getting all the parts and pieces. The wheels are almost done at HRE, waiting on those to arrive so we can check that. Then we can set ride heights with tires, order shocks, make sure all that stuff's ideal for what we're trying to get. And then get ready to send this one down to Mix to have him get it painted for us.
Yeah, a lot of progress on this one.
Yes. We had to rob the carbon steering wheel out of it to put in the other car to try on the center for that car, because I only had a few carbon centers. But yeah.
And I think you were talking about the 35s here getting prepped for something big. Let's go and look at it.
35's getting prepped for the quail. All right, so here we are with the 35. We are prepping this car to go to the Quail, which is during the Monterey Car Week. I believe it's on Friday. It's a show I've never been to. It's tickets to get into the show are like $1,500 a ticket. And to even be invited or allowed, or whatever you want to say, to display this car is pretty cool. And so with the intentions that we have for the car for the rest of the year, after showing it in Pomona, then winning West Coast Day Elegance with good guys earlier this year, then getting invited to the Quail, and our last intention is to drive this car on the reliability run in Oklahoma at the Gathering of the Rock. So we've been kind of sorting through of transitioning the car from show car to streetable show car. So we're going to go get it dynoed, not for horsepower numbers, not for anything else except to try and save it of just not scratching it up and taking it around the block. And now, going around the block and around the block and around the block.
This car did that already in bare metal though, right?
Yeah, we put 500 or 600 miles on it in bare metal.
At the Gathering of the Rocks, correct?
Not just at the Gathering of the Rock, but filming Autotopia videos, doing different things that we did for publicity, doing a lot of that kind of stuff.
But I guess my point is that this is not the first road tour section of that deal that it's been on. I mean, it's already been out in raw form prior years ago when you guys were building it.
Yes.
When it was all raw. Because a lot of people I don't even remember that this is the same car.
No, a lot of people don't because they just think the other one is silver or, whatever they would want to say.
But that was one of the stages that you guys took with this build, was to put it completely together, make it drivable, and actually drive it on one of those.
And sort it out. We sorted it out pretty good. There's still some more stuff that we, of just little fine tuning things, because the car gains weight from bare metal to being done. It gains leather. It gains just coatings, gains all the paint, gains, just a lot of stuff that wasn't on the car before. We added some stuff to the car. So spring rates are pretty good. We've sent the shocks out because of the little bit of driving that we've done. We found some leaks in those, and so we're just getting stuff like that sorted. The wheels, I've always thought the wheels looked too perfect. So we're taking the wheels over currently to go just have them Cerakote airbrushed to make them look 10 days old instead of brand new, I guess is a way of saying it. Just to add a little bit of, I don't want to say patina, but I can't think of a better word. And so trying to get that stuff together to put the wheels on here for that. And then just working through the nuances of making it where it's not just going to be a trailer queen, which, we're not going to drive this thing on the freeway. We're not going to do those things, but we're going to show the car, show the details of the car. But we wanted to go run it on the dyno. The stack injection is very finicky, that's under here. So we've had the stacks off, just getting everything dialed in linkage-wise. We had a little vacuum leak in the base, and so we had to pull one of these off and reseal that. Just getting small nuances worked out of the car to get that stuff ready, running it through a few heat cycles to make sure the fans are going to turn on, make sure the coolant level in the radiator is adequate. These little cowl spacers here on the side just needed to be addressed a little bit, so we kind of reevaluated those and then reachromed them, and they'll go on. The side panels are off so that when we run it on the dyno, it just doesn't hold in all the heat, doesn't do some of those things, but allows us access to everything that's in the middle of the car, just all the custom parts, all the linkage, all that craziness that is in there, and making sure that it works.
I was trying to get it focused on this engine block, the heads and stuff, because this engine is pretty special. It's not just a standard small block 350.
No, it is a Brodix block that they would use in a sprint car. And what we did is, the sprint car guys are required to run a cast iron block. Well, some guys have created CNC programs where they machine the blocks to lose 60 pounds from them. And then they have screw-in. The way you can tell is because they have screw-in freeze plugs. And I always just thought that was way cleaner than a brass knock-in freeze plug.
Sure.
And so we wound up deburring the block, making it super smooth, removing every mount and every part on the block that we didn't use. So there's no unused, old power steering bosses or motor mount bosses or whatever that's on the block. Anything we weren't using was removed during that CNC process.
Yeah. Since we have the front wheel off, to most that would just look like drum brakes.
Drum brakes. So you have the
but this thing's pretty trick, because you're able to actually take it off right now?
I think so.
Let's see.
So I got the center lock nut that's on here backwards because it's on the left side of the car. You don't want it coming off. And then the brake drum. And then you got your Johnson Rod Shops brakes by Willwood.
Yeah, so
you can see they're starting to get a little bit of color in them from driving them. They're not just chrome rotors like some guys. that'll never see the road, or we're still trying to do car things with this car now because the car show's over with.
Yeah, that's pretty trick. I mean, that right there, just to hold the actual look that these cars had, but have the technology of disc brake underneath it.
Yeah, you're just going to a tremendous effort to make it look old while it's still got some new stuff.
Yeah.
So we've got the the roll-up window mechanisms out of the car just to clean up some stuff. We were going to add the boom mat to the inside of the doors. Just some small things like that. The limit straps are in.
Yeah, and if anyone's interested in the story behind this car, there is a full, nice, really, really nice video that we did a few months ago that is on our YouTube channel that really just goes over the whole build process. It's, you know, the process of this car, many steps. It started off as 2 cars, correct?
2 cars. We kept the best parts, sold the other parts to Harold Chapman at Custom Rods of Van Dyce, and then he's been, I believe he's still working on the car for the client that he has for that.
Okay, so next stop is this brand.
The coil. Then we're going to Pleasanton, good guys with it.
Nice.
And then we'll get ready to go to Oklahoma for the Gathering of the Rock. And then it's going to be in the Hot Rod Industry Alliance booth at SEMA.
Where is it going to be at Good Guys?
Just somewhere on the showgrounds.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll be driving it in and out a little bit there that weekend, and then we'll be, that'll be the weekend after the coil.
And this isn't a typical, I mean, this is something that has completely pushed your limits and boundaries of what you've done with cars over the years.
I'm not even sure we want to build this kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
It's just a lot, and they get to the point where they're so nice that you just don't really know what to do with them. Like, you're scared to drive it, you're scared to clean it. It takes, because you're like, oh, I'm going to put swirl marks in it, or I'm going to do this or that. And so there's just so many details in them. These cars are really about the process of a guy who just really wants to geek out on this and go through the process of figuring out how to make the most OCD detailed car that you can. And then when you get done with the thing, you're like, well, what do you really do with it? Yeah. Like, because it just comes down to where you take the car to a show to get some guy's opinion.
Right. Yeah. Well, it takes a very special client, working relationship, point of time of business to be able to perform something like this.
Yes.
And
well, I mean, just behind you on these hood side panels here, if you look here at this side panel, you'll see that we have the hood side panels with the 5 doors, so if you push up on this door here, they all open the same. Just one finger opening all of them, and you can see the hinge mechanism on the inside that allows all that to happen.
And this is all stuff that more than likely, once you get into the build, you start like thinking of things, and you're like, okay, let's do this now to it, which was never original plan, more or less, but now you have to add it because you're already this far into it.
Yeah, and you want to do things well.
Right.
And so if you're going to make one door open, you might as well make them all open together. And then you got to keep them all in the same plane, and then these ones, I don't think you can get it in the video, but if you look on the back sides of these doors, you can see that there's an edge in here with a place for a rubber bumper here, with a stop for that to hit against the bumper.
Yeah, so I think we can see the rubber bumper right
that's
there.
the back side of the rubber bumpers here. So when they close, they hit the stop there to hit right on that part. So it doesn't mar the paint, but all this stuff has to be made individually. The doors have the lip on them, so the doors are machined.
Nice. So the Quail, Good Guys, couple of Good Guys coming up. It's going to be out there. People can come by and see it. So that's great.
Yeah.
When are we going to get this?
We're getting there. We're keeping that one a little bit quiet. So no real reason.
Can we at least say what it is? It's a Chevelle, right?
It's a black 66 Chevelle that might be the ultimate 66 Chevelle, maybe.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. I obviously, I'm a big fan of Chevelle, so I'm pushing every month. I'm like, can we show it?
We're getting there. I just want to drop this one and see. Just just put it out there when it's done and see how it goes. We've dropped little snidbits like you're doing here.
Yeah.
And it's got one-off wheels. It's got a great stance. It's got lots of custom parts, but it's had lots of body modifications to it to just clean up the original Chevelle.
All right, let's continue on.
Okay.
So I got a question that some people have asked. I've seen commented, job opportunities here. You're always looking for someone good, right?
Always looking for good ones.
But one of the things that we always have a discussion about is what is one of the kind of, if you want to say, the pet peeve or how to stand out to be different. What is it that you're looking for from someone?
Well, you get a bunch of different ones. You get the guys from the trade schools that send you the same form letter as the other 20 kids. We won't use young adults. The other 20 young adults that all say the same thing. I've taken this many hours, and I've taken this class, and I've taken this class, and it's on a white piece of paper, and it's the same font, and it's all the same. And so you really can't tell the difference. I can't hire all 20 of them. I can't try all 20 of them. And if they send you the thing and we don't respond, they don't even follow up to be like, hey, did you get it? I don't know. Do you want the job? And so we get guys like that we get that response. Then I get other guys who they just want to DM me and take it easy. Well, we would like to see where you've worked before. Have you had a job? Do you have a car? And if you look on our website, you'll see that it says careers. And if you follow through some of that, you'll see that it says, hey, send us a resume. I don't care if it says you worked at Wendy's and that's all you've worked and then you went to school. Show me some stuff that you've done. Why is it that you want to work here? Why is it that you're not going to go be an attorney? Why is it that you're not going to go be a doctor?
Why this than anything
Why do
else?
you want to work here? And don't just be like, my mom made me send a resume so that I can still live at home and play video games. Because we don't really want you if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, but this doesn't matter if you're a young adult or older, seasoned person that's been doing car. At the end of the day, you don't want someone that's just looking for a job. You want someone that's passionate and wants to work here because they really enjoy what you're doing with all the builds here.
Yeah, and a lot of guys are just like, oh man, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, this is hard. It's hard work. It's hard to build cool stuff. It's hard to sweat the details. It's hard to make sure everything works right. And we've just gotten to the point that we don't want bench warmers. We want guys who maybe you're not an all-star yet, but maybe you want to be. Show us that you want to be an all-star. Yeah. Don't just show us that you're filling out that your unemployment requires you to go do this, and like show us that you want the job. Don't send me a video of some car driving by and be like, oh, I painted it. No, show me some pictures of it. Like show me the details. If you did metalwork, show me the metalwork. Show me. Don't
your
just
previous passion in this type of field, whatever your capabilities are, show that. And
most of my lead guys have come from other industries, not in this industry. They've come from air conditioning. They've come from race car fabrication where they're just building control arms. They've come from different places like that. They didn't come here because they were panel beaters and knew how to shape sheet metal. Most of them didn't even know what an English wheel was. Yeah. And so they want to learn. They show up, they work hard, and they do those things, but they don't just expect to come in here and be the man and expect that, hey, I have 1,200 followers on my Instagram page, you should just hire me. Yeah. Well, we get a lot of resumes. Make yourself print it on pink paper.
Yeah, do something different that stands out from the crowd, because we're getting a lot. Roger's getting just blawed out from the same old repeat. So
yeah, if I didn't get back to you, it's probably because you're like the other 50, and you're the 40-year-old guy who's like, man, I decided to get into construction and it's hot, and I've always loved cars and I want to do this, and you're like, okay, but what can you do here? Like, just show me what you think you can do here, because there's a huge learning curve to getting from there to here. And do you think you need to be paid $40 an hour to learn while you're here because you made that in construction? That's probably not going to happen either. But show us that you want to work here. Show us that you want to learn. Show us that you want. I mean, we start at 5:30 in the morning, and I've had 2 guys in the past 2 years that said, oh, this would be my dream job, and then they can't even show up at 5:30.
Yeah. Well, the best thing, I love that you have AC because it gets hot here. It's like 90 something degrees outside and it's super cool in here. So
the AC will make you soft.
yeah, it's
It will make you soft.
Well, speaking of awesome builds and what you can accomplish here, we've got a tremendous 67 Nova sitting here that we're gonna go really quick over because we're gonna do a dedicated video on this one also. So just give us a quick version, and then following this shop walk around, we'll have a dedicated video for this.
I don't think there's anything quick about this car because we've been working on it for a long time.
All right, so answer this, because the one thing that everyone's been, well, we've had a number of them pop up, comments, this thing's gonna weigh as much as a 3/4 ton truck is what is a couple of the comments that we're getting. And the reality is what's going on with this car?
I bet this thing's 3,800 pounds.
Yeah, it just looks like there's a lot of metal work going on with it that I guess maybe...
Because it's metal and not painted?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the chassis isn't that heavy. The floors are gone. I would hope it's heavier than a Nova because they were pretty light to start with, but they weren't meant for 800 horsepower. Now it's a unibody car with a Roadster Shop frame. We modified the center section to put the exhaust in the middle, sink the seats down, do a bunch of those things that we're kind of known for. We've based the console on our Legacy Series consoles that are getting ready to come to market. I've got 5 left over. I just don't know pricing for all the stuff. So if you want one, you better get a hold of me because the 5 will go quick. And we'll see how those, if people actually want them, because they're not cheap. And then we've just been working on all the details. Man, this car is small. We just went to 19-inch wheels. We put these carbon hooped Brixton forged wheels that I don't know how well your phone will do in the lighting, but they're wild. They have bitchin' coatings. Brixton knocked it out of the park on the orange. Accents, the chrome, the carbon hoops, the 19-inch tire at the very front. We even went with a 30 series to get it down at full lock. Man, we are running out of room real quick. And so we've got the preliminary shape here for our hood, the push button hood releases that we're going to use. The basis for our lower front valence is printed, so we can start defining what we're going to make out of metal, what we're going to make out of carbon, and what we're going to machine. You can see part of the scoop here that will let hot air out. There's another vent here and another vent there to let hot air out of the cars. It's got one of the Wagner top hats for for a hair-up blower that moves the ports to the rear.
And just, I want to reiterate, because I know sometimes we go fast and then people don't realize, and just, again, this is all 3D printed off of CAD design that's been designed on a computer, and then they 3D print it just to get the shape and the form and how it's all going to start looking. So this is ultimately going to end up as a true hood, but for the people maybe wondering why is it only half, well, this is just mock-up. This is just testing things out to see how it goes, and it allows you to quickly try something, stand back, look at it, and then make a decision on where you're going to go with it.
Well, and because when you design these parts, so the file that you take to print this part is the same file you could send to the machine shop or to the carbon fiber guys to make a mold. So we could take and print this. I didn't print the whole hood because it cost a boatload of money. I printed this hood so that you can see the shape. You can see the way this intertwines over here. You can see this transition here, so that I like to set parts on the car. I can envision what the rest of this is going to look like from what we've had before, but this helps me see what this looks like at the front. Is the peak too far forward? Is it too tall? Does it look odd? Does it look any of those things? It just gives you a general direction. Like down here, you can see where we're adding pieces to go, hey, this should probably come over. This has come over. You can see that we duct tape that over further because the duct tape happens to be a similar color. And so it just helps you see what proportions are, to see what those things will be, because this lower section will probably be machined. A lot of this will be steel, and then there'll be some other pieces inside that are just made with different materials. But it allows you to see the shape, stand back, and I just like to look at something for a month maybe and just be like, do you really like it? Or is there something that's odd? Is there something that you could do better? Like, I look at 3D printing as a way before you commit to machining or carboning, or even in sheet metal really, but in sheet metal you can modify it. You can't modify the aluminum machine parts or carbon parts, but it allows you to have some hindsight.
Yeah. No, it looks good. It's awesome that you get to stand back and really get a look and feel of how it is just in true form, rather than just a printed rendering that you can only get so.
Well, the rendering's just a drawing
Yeah.
on a flat piece of paper
Yeah.
that may not be proportionate. It may not be exactly what it is.
Let me get a stand over on this side real quick here, or that side too. But I just want to, again, we're going to have a dedicated video for this one.
It's a little low in the back right now because it has the 19-inch rear wheel and not the 20-inch rear wheel, so the car will come up a half of an inch in the rear.
Okay, well, if you guys are interested in more about this, we're going to have a dedicated one. We'll get in way more detail because this car is just obviously phenomenal with all the work that's been going into it. What do we got here?
So Troy's Cuda's coming along. The rear spoiler turned out really good. It's all welded on. It's finished and made nice. We're going to finalize this piece to make it nicer. Just finalizing some last pieces in here.
Show it close real quick because I remember you've got a couple different contours happening.
Because it's curving this way, so I'm exaggerating here, but it curves this way and it curves this way as it goes across the back of the car. So it had to be split and welded down the middle to shape all those pieces, to weld this all together to follow the shape of this. And then underneath here, it carried on this shape from there that goes around the trunk.
Wow.
Opening, I guess you would say.
Yeah. Yeah, it came out nice. Super nice.
So then this is all molded. This keeps the shape of the car in place, so you still have the shape of that. And once it's all body worked and stuff, it'll look good. So we've gone around all the doors and silica bronzed all the edges of the doors to clean those up, filled all the unneeded holes. We've got the 3D printed window parts in here to go to the dual track windows that we just need to replace with these aluminum ones. So these are the aluminum pieces that clamp to the windows that replace that will attach to the rollers and so you're not running the stock stuff, you're running a later model dual track window setup.
So no more scissor style.
No more scissor style, it's dual track from a late model Mustang.
Nice.
If you look here, just turn around, you can see it behind you here. You can see our boy Marcus here. So it's got the dual track windows. This one we made a different one to attach to the windows separately here, but it uses the same system.
Nice. Very clean.
So this turnbuckle is to add a little bit of adjustment after the door because of all the weight. It allows you to kind of roll the door once it's all assembled and stuff, just to kind of fine tune the fitment of the car at the end.
But that's obviously going to be gone.
No, it'll stay.
It'll stay in there.
It'll stay in there.
Okay.
So, but that gives you a pretty good working idea of what all that stuff is. It's got modern latches, all that stuff in the car.
And that aluminum window is going to go to glass once it's all said and done.
Yes.
A lot of people kind of freaking out thinking, what are we
No, it's
building?
for the Pope.
Yeah. Bulletproof. And,
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
1/4-inch aluminum, bulletproof.
What else with the Cuda?
Just working on finishing all the loose ends. We welded this flange up here, or cut this flange off here to make the rear interior panel look nicer. Got down to the minimal flange where the body welds to the chassis. We just have the outline for the dash because we based the outline on a Chevelle one to use the carbon dash. It's got the same carbon console in it. Things like that.
This one's getting a sequential shifter, right?
It is a T56 with a sequential on it. So you'll still use the clutch to shift. So it's not a full sequential, but you push it forward, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and you pull it back to do the same thing.
Let's look under the hood.
So under here, we haven't really done much up here this month. Got all this stuff smoothed underneath. Adam filled all the pockets, made that stuff look nice. The hood is about ready, the outer skin is about ready to get attached to this, and we're working on trying to make all that stuff nicer. Just finishing all these fine-tuned details that Mopar really didn't finish when they built the cars. So here's a number 6 Chevelle. We're getting ready to do a bigger video on this one that will show the underneath that will show a lot of the details of that. But we've got an interior kit being mocked up in the car. We've got the dash in there, just kind of setting in the car to just check all the fitment of those things. But it's about ready to go to the body shop. It's got the front drive system on the LT4 now. Bumpers brackets are all checked. Fiberglass inner fenders in it. Everything else looking good.
I had a lot of people asking about the radiator and the fan shroud and stuff when I was driving the Goldie. And so
these are the PWR radiators with brushless fans that we use with a top mount bracket. We could probably start selling these plates. I don't know if I would need to make one that's different that doesn't have the badge, so a guy doesn't have to have the Ironworks badge on it that, you know, goes with that. But we're just slowly trickling out some parts here and there. It's trying to keep up with building cars and putting out some products that we think will sell, and doing some of those things is a lot of work.
Sure.
And it's summertime.
Yeah.
So firewall is welded into the car. Everything else is looking pretty good. So
okay.
you'll be able to see the bottom of that car here soon.
We'll have the full walk around of this car underneath and on top in a later video this month. So keep an eye out for that.
So this is Danny's Ranch Wagon chassis. We've been working on this thing off and on for a while. The body's at mix, being final painted. We got the chassis back from him a couple weeks ago. This is a Roadster Shop fast track chassis. We powder coated it, put all the plumbing in it, put the exhaust in it. We realized we forgot to order the T-bolts for the back, so we kind of came to a halt on the rear brakes. But this big old behemoth of an engine is in here. We decided to keep the small blower on it instead of the big blower like we put in his Mustang, because the guy that owns this owns the Mustang that we built a few years ago that won Street Machine of the Year and a couple other awards. So we're getting everything together. The car is, which you can insert the rendering here if you want. It's black and cream with some gold inserts, kind of like that one on the wall, but now black. And not, I guess that's more of a white. It's more of a cream now with a gold inlay in there and red interior. It's gonna be a pretty neat car. It's got a set of one-off wheels from EVOD that we did. Kind of like the old slotted mags. Because the car just has that hot rod look. The valve covers have been painted the same red that the interior will be. This will be the same cream color as the exterior. Here's a badge that we made that goes in there, and this will get chromed, and then all this will get painted and detailed inside that to just add that nice part to it. There's a lot of engine bay parts that are machined to go around the engine bay. A lot of stuff that makes this thing very detailed in the engine. The plan is to drive this thing. We'll probably show it once or twice and take it around, but the intention is really to probably use this since it's a wagon. So,
what's the backstory on it? How did he have it for a long time? Is it something previous?
It was started by Fat Jack, who's kind of a old school staple hero way back in the day, and as he passed away, this thing just kind of carried on, and this would be I believe this is the 6th car we've done for Danny. And so just been working on getting everything else done, getting the ranch wagon through paint, getting it all set. There's so many parts and pieces on this thing. But just going through the process. So of all the cool stuff that we've been able to do on this car.
Okay. So soon enough here, we'll have the body on the chassis. We'll get to see it in form.
Yeah.
Paint it.
Maybe next month it has a body on it. Maybe, I don't know. They were supposed to paint it this week, but you know how painters are. So
gotta wait around for the painters.
Gotta wait around for the painters. So other than that, that's pretty much what we got done this month. So got a few cars out of here and put a few more miles on some new cars. You spent some time in Goldie last week.
I did.
You spent some time on that. We're supposed to get her back after she finishes her SoCal tour of getting passed around. So Bill's had her, and the Kent's had her, and a couple other people have been using her down there in SoCal. So just been doing that, and Hoping to get some more testing and tuning done on Holder's car, and that thing should be an animal, which he's probably the only guy who could drive it anyways.
And then you're going to be getting another one of the Chevelles back from paint here soon.
Yeah, number 4 is coming back from paint with black cherry and the vinyl top, LT1 10-speed.
We're a little out of line on these numbers, and there's a reason why behind it is because, you know, just to let everyone know, 4 is coming back from paint, but that got put on hold because a couple others that came before it were already painted cars, already like the 442 and whatnot. So that's why that one's a little bit behind.
So like we've sold number 5, we sold number 7. Sometimes when a guy calls, he may want an option that we can't give him on a car that's already in production.
Yeah.
Or he may want something different than what it is. And so we currently have chassis on order for all the donor bodies that we have. We have things like that help speed up the process. The number 6 cars, you can see, obviously that one's still available, but it could be changed to an automatic transmission, and you could change the engine to something smaller if you wanted, but it's really set up to be a 427 LT4 with a manual trans. We've already put brackets in it to put a Holley ECU for the manual trans and the traction control. And so there's just things that go into the cars. Sometimes it's hard to convert an LT1 car to an LT4 car because you got to add a bunch of pumps and coolers, and the transmission needs to be blueprinted. And there's just a lot of odds and ends that go with each one. And so the number 7 car that we sold is a patina car. So we have to start with his car to use that one. And so that kind of slows down the process a little bit of just waiting for the chassis to come to his.
Yeah, otherwise that car's ready to go because he owns it now and he's ready. He's itching. He's ready to go.
Yeah, that's kind of an understatement. Yeah, he's ready to rock.
Yeah, he's excited. And I actually was able to talk with him for a minute. Really cool dude, and I'm super excited for him that he's building a really nice car. So,
and he wants to take his kids in it. He wants to go have fun with it. Like he's looking to use it on SoCal. You'll probably see it down there at the quarantine cruises and stuff like that. And just really exciting to see those things come together. And so we ordered the chassis for number 8, which we ordered the IRS to be a wider one so that we could put monoblock wheels on it. And so there's just things that were different options. And once I order it with the wide IRS, I can't go back.
Yeah. So just be mindful if you are interested in one of the Legacy Series cars, depending on what combinations we currently have and how far they are in the stage, you might get stuck with, you know, not being able to have full options available because it's already going that direction. So the sooner the later to get in line and put your name on one so then you can have it, you know, as much what you want as possible. You know, or you're just going to have to wait.
Or if you're like, I don't know, just give me a cool one.
Yeah.
We got cool ones. You know, the intention with that one is 427 LT4 manual trans, green on green with, you know, no vinyl top and probably SS wheels. There's some new wheels I saw that are kind of like what's on the OG Chevelle that came out from Forge Line that would be interesting too. They kind of look like a mini line, and I might try those as well.
Okay. Well, as always, we really are thankful for everyone that's been watching these videos, and obviously a lot of people have been commenting and passing it around and sharing the videos, so we do want to say thank you. If you guys have any questions for Roger about any of these current builds or any possible future builds, reach out to Roger through the contact page on our website. You can also DM on social media, but through the contact page is probably the best route.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I'm amazed that we actually got 5,000 subscribers. You know?
Everyone.
It's one thing when your mom watches and, you know, and your kids or something like that, or your wife, but it's pretty cool just to see that people are tuning in and finding what we're saying entertaining.
Yeah, and let alone when you were down at the cruise and people were coming up and saying we've been watching the videos and they already know what's going on, so you can have a nice conversation with them because they're talking about something that was in the last video or whatnot.
Yes.
So that's great. Well, as always, thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.